Greetings, my name is Chris and welcome to my channel Randomtronic. Today I want to show you a little project that I've got in mind. It's going to be a ring light for the camera that I'm using right now to record. I want to use this ring light to capture better video, really close-up shots of different PCBs and other electronic parts. I will also take this opportunity to try out the Seno GS system for etching PCBs, which I haven't used before. I've used ferric chloride extensively, but the Seno GS has got this little bag and contraption that makes it easy to and virtually mess free. Also, as far as preparing the PCB for the etching, I will be doing something unusual. There are different ways of preparing a PCB for etching, from writing it down with a marker on the PCB itself or toner transfer, you name it. The ring light will be mounted on this and this is a ring adapter from 37 to 58 millimeters. My camera accepts 37 millimeter thread, and this just basically some nice piece that you can thread it onto the camera. Those are widely available in various different sizes on eBay, so this one was I think like $1.99 or something along those lines. This is what I'm starting with, so this dictates most of the dimensions in the design, and I've got sketched up over here the design of what I will be doing, so let me show you. It's just basically a ring, a round PCB with the LEDs on there, and that will be mounted or glued onto this little ring adapter, and I've got 10 LEDs marked on the perimeter of the circle. I'm not sure how this shows up on camera, but this should be, yeah, you should be able to see it. I've also worked out a couple of variants of how much power I can put into this, but this we'll get into a little bit later. Most of the drawing over here was done with a compass, and I can now use the compass to transfer the entire drawing onto the PCB. And here's the PCB I'll be using. I've just marked a center hole over here. That's better, blue Sharpie. And now, using a compass with two sharp points, I can transfer the dimensions from my drawing onto the PCB, and hopefully I'll be clearly able to see what I'm doing. It shows up quite nicely. So I've transferred this little spider web look-alike, and now what I need to do is press in a little indent on every intersection of this line. I also transferred the smaller circle you can see over here. That again I'll use as reference points later on. Now I can clean off the PCB with some very fine sandpaper and prepare for the fun stuff. Here is where I wanted to experiment a little bit and do this PCB differently. So I had this idea: if I cover the PCB where I want in just nail polish, like this. As you can see, I'm not a nail artist. Transferred the entire image using compass. First I just pinched a few reference points on the PCB, and then using compass I was able to scratch off the remaining tracks, and everything else will be etched out. Now in the corners, that's just me artistically trying to try out different markers to see how they will comply with the etchant. The main thing will be just a round piece of PCB. And here is the Seno GS system. I've opened it already, but it's unused, so this is what comes in the package. Very orange card with all sorts of German instructions. Young man trying to etch something in a bag. Blue version, which is in English, from Mega Electronics Limited. What we have in here is two little clips like this. That's one, and another one is on the bag of plaster. This is meant to be used for disposal, so when you're done with it, when the etchant is all gone, you can basically drop the plaster into this, and that will solidify, and you can dispose this into rubbish bin. I've got this shallow plastic tub. This I think is meant to measure out the initial amount of water to put inside. They said it needs to be 250 milliliters. Bag is sealed on one side, it's hot sealed. We've got the ferric chloride, it's going a little bit green, but that's okay. What we need to do is put 250 milliliters of hot tap water. It's steaming a little bit, and now you wrap the bag around the rod and then slide the clip above, and that is sealed. So now we've got the water in here. We should release this, get it all mixed up, and because this is the first time I'm using this, I need to wait for the ferric chloride to dissolve in this basically. This took only about a minute, and everything is fully dissolved. Get it sealed again on this somewhere to contain the ferric chloride inside. So now take the PCB, unseal the top, slide the PCB in, and close it again. And once the PCB is in here with ferric chloride here, all that is left to do, let the ferric chloride do the job. The really nice thing about this is if I press onto the PCB, I can see exactly what's happening with it and what stage is it on. It's been about 10 minutes and this is, I can see this is just about done. Move the PCB over to the side with the opening, hold it in place like so and pick it up, and all the etchant should flow all the way down. Try to get as much of the ferric chloride back into the bottom of the bag and seal it up. I can unseal this side and get my PCB out, reseal this side so I don't make a mess, and this can be stored for later. The box it came in has got a nice storage solution built in like this, so this can sit in here and wait for the next use. So here's the PCB etched out. If I shine some light through it, you can see the pattern I was going for, even this way. Got the 4 corners just as a side experiment because I had this spare. This corner here was a dry wipe marker, and yeah, as you can see, it didn't hold up very well. Corner here was just a few lines and scratches made with a big marker. This one here, big arcing pocket permanent marker. It held up somewhat, but not very well. It wasn't consistent in the lines. This one here was a Sharpie, and just a standard thin Sharpie, not very good. And here is the proper etch resistant pen, and this one held up actually perfectly. So yeah, you need a good etch resistant pen or a nail polish. Here is the PCB after I've removed all the nail polish. It turned out quite nice, so I'll be using only the actual ring. That's all I need. I need to cut this out and do some tin plating on this as I intended, but this I think cannot happen today because it's quite late and I will wake up everyone when I cut this PCB. Hope you found it informative as far as the Sino-GS system goes. If you haven't heard about it, it's really quite mess-free and convenient. So tomorrow I've got this. It's a white powder that will allow me to tin plate this. As far as this video, that's it. If you want to see the next one, please pop back and check back on the next video very shortly, where I'll be getting this tin plated and we'll start putting this together and soldering all the LEDs on. So thank you very much for watching. Take care.